Well, good morning. I'm reading from the book of Ephesians this morning and thinking about our enemy, the devil. Have you ever made up a place in your house for the devil? I mean, laid out a nice room for him, put new sheets on the bed, new towels laid out in the bathroom for him. Just tried your best to make him feel welcome in your life. You say, well, no, that's crazy. I would never do something like that. But let's see what the Bible has to say this morning. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26, it says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil." When we have anger and wrath out of control in our lives, it's just like making up a spot in the house for the devil and saying, come on in. Come on in and make yourself at home right here in my house. He says that we need to make sure we don't let the sun go down on our wrath. In other words, anger that just brews and boils and just keeps on sticking around, that it's a dangerous, dangerous thing in our lives. And many times it just throws wide open the door for the old devil to get in there and wreak havoc in our lives. Now, what does it mean when he says, "Be ye angry and sin not"? Well, there's two kinds of anger. There is an anger that is a good anger. Let me show you. In Mark chapter 3, it says that Jesus went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and verse 2 tells us, "And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him." There was a fellow there, and he had a withered hand. And everybody in this synagogue is sitting there staring at Jesus, wondering what he's going to do. And verse 3 says, "And he saith unto the man which had the withered hand, Stand forth. And he saith unto them, Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill? But they held their peace. And when he had looked round about on them with anger, being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he saith unto the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other." And so Jesus was angry with the attitude that these people had, because here was a man who Jesus could heal, who had this withered hand, this crippled condition, and they were more concerned with their oral traditions than they were with Jesus showing mercy to this man. And so that's a righteous kind of an anger. But there's also an anger that's just bred by selfishness and sin, that just, and it brews and it stews and it won't go away. And so the Bible tells us, "Be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Neither give place to the devil." If you're going to be angry, you need to get over it, and you need to get over it quickly. There's one more thing in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10. The apostle there says, "To whom ye forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgave anything to whom I forgave it, for your sakes forgave I it in the person of Christ, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." See, Satan throughout history has used particular snares and traps and tricks on mankind. One of them is that when we're angry and our anger is out of control, it's just like throwing the door wide open and telling him to come on in. But another thing is, when we harbor bitterness and unforgiveness in our lives, it gives the enemy an advantage in our lives. He will use that to establish a bulkhead in our lives, to establish a concentrated position within our lives, and that unforgiveness will breed other things, other sin coming out of our life. Listen, we need to be dealing with our anger quickly, and we need to be dealing with bitterness and unforgiveness quickly. The answer to that is forgiveness. The answer to that is to trust in Christ, to go to him in prayer, and to ask him to help us to deal with these things. Listen, I want to encourage you. You'd never make up a spot in your house for the devil. Not intentionally anyway. But sometimes we do it when we harbor anger, bitterness, and unforgiveness in our lives. Listen, Christ is the answer. Spend some time in prayer with him today. God bless you. Hope you have a great day.